Hi, it's Elliot from Team F Metal here, doing another deck profile on Bastion Accord. So, let's just get into it. So, we've got the standard ride line. So, we got the starter as base, and then we go Knight of Heavenly Sword Fort. So, when he's rode onto Rooks, you can reveal 2 grade 3s from your hand to call the top card of your deck. And Rooks, when you ride a Bastion card, well, Apex Ruler Bastion, you draw a card. And with obviously the main grade 3 of the deck, Sword of Nation Bastion Accord, counters Apex Ruler Bastion, so you get to draw a card. So obviously that's the ride line. And obviously you run 3 Bastion Accords, so he gives protection to all grade 3 or greater rear guards in the front row and gives them 5,000 power at all times, so it helps with retire heavy decks that single out attacks rather than, you know, board wiping. It doesn't help with that. And then at the end of the battle, where you grade 3 or less rear guard attacks, you can stand it in order to for it to attack again, and you can also counterblast to discard a Bastion card from your hand, and that rear guard can perform drive checks, so you want it to be obviously a grade 3 heavy deck. And for other grade 3s, we have the first Apex Ruler Bastion, just to obviously help the engine of Accord. Then you have 4 Grand Heavenly Sword Oldens. It's a really good card in the deck that's always kept in since set 1. Can blast 2, Soul Blast 1 to call a card from my hand. If it's a grade 3, you draw 2. It gains 5k whenever it attacks, so long as you have 3 or more grade 3 rear guards and units out. So it helps cycle through the deck, and it's like really good at like replenishing your hand because it's no minus whatsoever. Right, then there's Grunder Edge. So when you reveal cards for Fort and Rooks, he can count as 2 grade 3s, which helps if you want to maintain shield depending what the matchup you're on. And continuous rearguard and Guardian Circle gains 10k shield and power. So obviously he can be used defensively and offensively, so he can just sit there with a cord and be 28k whilst you just throw other ones onto the Guardian Circle. And then the last grade 3, I believe, that I have in there is 3 Sword of Light Skies Lens. So, its last effect, which I primarily use, is when riding from grade 3 from the ride deck or striding, you draw a card. Obviously, we're not striding in this, so it's mainly there to pitch to draw a card. So with Rooks, you do a little combo. You ditch the Skies End, you ride that, you reveal the grade 3s, you draw 2 cards as well, so that really helps. And then when it's placed on Guardian Circle, if you have a grade 4 Vanguard or if you reveal one, so Prime, it gains 15 shield. But on Rearguard Circle you choose 2 cards to gain boost, so this can be really useful with a Grunder Edge and a Olden combo. So you call Skyzen like somewhere and give Grunder Edge boost and Skyzen boost, attack with the Olden as well, so you gain even more power. And for grade 4s, we obviously have Bastion Prime, so he's a good finisher, or obviously just a ditch for a cord or stick in hand for Skyzen. So your front row gains 2k during your turn, and at the end of the battle, if you drove check a grade 3 or greater, you discard a card or soul blast a card of Bastion to restand all your grade 3 rear guards for 10k, so this helps with the amount of Bastions actually in this deck. Right, so a couple of orders. So we have 3 former chosen knights. So it's Can Blast and Soul Blast. You perform all the effects below according to the amount of grade 3 units. So if you got 2 or more, you give a unit 5,000 power, which can be the Vanguard or say Olden to bump them to the same power as Grunder Edge. 3 or more, you draw a card. 4 or more, you choose one of your Vanguards to gain +1 drive. It's really helpful because it doesn't turn into triple drive, so they can't just use the first Elemental Sanctitude without the discard effect. And with Bastion Prime, it goes up to like, you know, quad drive. He still keeps a triple drive, but for Sanctitude, but still 4 drive checks is good. And then for the Regardless piece is for Bidol Surrogate, which is pretty self-explanatory, of searching your deck or drop zone for 2 grade 3 and or 4 cards with different names. You call the grade 3s and add the grade 4s to your hand. So what I tend to do is add Prime and call Olden, and then use Olden's effect to call another card and draw 2 cards, so you're plussing 1 at the end of the day. Right, so the only grade 1s other than PGs in here, so Sapient Owl. So on rearguard and hand and the trigger zone, he gains +2 grade and 2 power, so long as you have a Vanguard with Bastion in its name. So obviously when you're drive checking with Prime or anything, you don't you know, you have more chances to actually get his effect off. And his main ability, when he's placed on rearguard, you choose a Bastion from the drop zone, put it into, well, a grade 3 or greater card, and put it into the soul. If it's Bastion, your Vanguard gains 5k, and you countercharge if you haven't countercharged that turn. So, for the Sentinels, we've got 4 Aegis Mare Dragon, and one of the newer Elemental Sanctitudes that you can use with a grade 4 Vanguard, because the original one you couldn't. So with this one, you just don't have it if you only have one type of crest. So this helps with, obviously, you know, being able to blitz order against effects that prevent Sentinels from the Guardian Circle. So, and good against facing against Stride decks. So the triggers, we use the Over trigger, Spiritual King of Aquatics Edeo's Flare, to give a critical and to choose a card from the drop zone to your hand, so which it can be a Perfect Guard, an Alden, any piece you kind of need. And then for triggers, we have 8 crits, which are Blade Feather Gurgant, 3 PGs, 3 healer... Jaws, that's the one, not PGs. Ugh. I keep thinking it's V-Series sometimes. Right, so RSS, and then we run one of the multi-attacking Invigorating Sage. So, if your opponent's attacking unit has attacked 2 or more times against 15 shield, I found this more useful than the crit ones, because this deck's more bulk shieldy rather than capable of defending multi-attacks, so this is just nice to be able to throw into one of the attacks, so to be able to survive a turn or two. So yeah, that's everything. Thank you for tuning in, guys.